ansiarsi quello che lo segue di almeno 70 metri, vero o falso? Please always try to bring your answers to every question. I like the first question. Yeah, I like the first question too much. Guys, the answer to this question is false. I saw many true, vero, 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 vero. Guys, the answer to this question is false. And why is the answer false? Why? What is the reason behind the answer false? It's very simple. One, the significance of this signal says that we have to keep at least 70 meters with the vehicle ahead of us. So if I am driving my vehicle, I have to make sure that the vehicle ahead of me, okay, is at least 70 meters from me. So I have to watch out for the vehicles ahead of me. And the question says that il segnale raffigurato. So this significant obliges il veicolo che precede. So this signal obliges the vehicle ahead to distance themselves from the vehicle following them at least 70 meters, guys. And the answer is no. Because if you are driving your vehicle, if you have to keep security distance, guys, the security distance must be between you and the vehicle ahead of you, not the vehicle ahead of you with the vehicle at the back, because you can't drive the vehicle by looking backwards and controlling the velocity or the distance you have. No. If you're driving your vehicle, we look to the vehicle ahead of us. So this question is on the contrary. So the answer to this question is false. It is never true that this signal obliges vehicles ahead of us to distance themselves from us at least 70. But on the contrary, we following the vehicle ahead of us, we must distance ourselves from the vehicle ahead of us at least 70. Yeah. So the answer to this question is false. It's not true. So this signal goes to il veicolo che segue. So we are the vehicle at the back of the vehicle ahead of us. So we must keep the distance between them. Our next question. Guys, it's very simple. Because you do know what? Assuming you are driving your bike, you are riding your bicycle, and you have another cyclist ahead of you. If you want to keep a distance, how can you keep a distance between you and the vehicle and the bicycle at your back? No, you keep the distance from you with the vehicle ahead of you, because your view, your front view is important than your back view. So always it must be kept with the vehicle ahead of you. Our next question. In presenza del segnale raffigurato, è consentito l'uso del clacson solo in caso di pericolo immediato, vero o falso? And indeed, the answer to this question is true, guys. The answer to this question is true. The question says that in presenza del segnale raffigurato. So in the presence of this significant, è consentito, it is allowed l'uso del classroom solo in caso di pericolo immediato, only in case of immediate danger. Of course, guys, yeah, you can use your classroom if there is immediate danger. And the answer to this question is true. Yeah, someone says it's false because of solo. Guys, be very careful with all these shortcuts. When you see only solo, only sempre, and the rest, no. Understand the significance of the signal and the question you have. This signal says that you can only use your classroom in case of emergency, in case of immediate danger, in case of immediate emergency with this signal. Our next question. Il segnale raffigurato obbliga a rispettare il limite minimo di velocità indicato, vero o falso? Guys, please don't lose focus. This year is our year, and by the grace of God, we are going for the victory. We are going for the victory. And the answer to this question is false, guys. The answer to this question is false. Look at the significance of this signal. The name of this signal is velocità massima obbligatoria. That is the maximum speed limit. And the question says that il segnale raffigurato. So this significant obbliga, it obliges to respect a limited minimum. No, this signal is not the minimum velocity, but this one is limited maximum, the velocità indicato. So the answer is false because of minimum. That it should be maximum, not minimum. So always, please read the question very careful. Yeah, because at times the first part of the question seems true because il segnale raffigurato obbliga a rispettare. Of course, this signal obliges to respect, but to respect what? The minimum velocity, and the answer is no. It is to respect the maximum velocity. So please always shine your eyes. Our next question. In presenza del segnale raffigurato è consentito ad un veicolo di circolare alla distanza di 80 metri da quello che lo precede, vero o falso? And indeed, the answer to this question is true. Yeah. In presenza del segnale raffigurato. So in the presence of this significant, è consentito, it is allowed or it is permitted ad un veicolo, of a vehicle, di circolare alla distanza So it is permitted or allowed for a vehicle to circulate at a distance of 80 meters from da quello che lo precede, from the vehicle ahead. And the answer is true, because always when you are driving your vehicle, you must look to the vehicle ahead of you. If you drive your vehicle, we don't look to the vehicle at your back. No, we look to the vehicle ahead of you. So if you have to keep a distance, the distance must be kept with you and the vehicle ahead of you. Always. If you have to keep a distance, it must be you and the vehicle ahead of you. So if you are keeping 80, you are allowed to circulate. Our next question. Il segnale raffigurato consente l'uso del clacson per richiamare l'attenzione di qualsiasi circostanza, vero o falso? And indeed, the answer to this question is false. Il segnale raffigurato. So this sign figure, consente, it allows or it permits l'uso del clacson, the use of our horns or the use of our clacson, per richiamare l'attenzione. So to recall the attention in any circumstance, guys, and the answer is no. So qualsiasi circunstanza, make it false. Not any circumstance. No, you only use your clacson in case of emergency. Yeah, in case of emergency, in case of immediate danger. That case, you can use your clacson. But apart from being emergency, you can't use. Yeah, so this one is false. You can't use your horn in any circumstance. No, it must be only in case of emergency. So you are calling the attention of other people in case of emergency, not any circumstance. No. Il segnale raffigurato consente di circolare a velocità inferiore a quella indicata, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is true. Il segnale raffigurato. So this sign figure, we know that the name of this signal is velocità massima obbligatoria. That is the maximum speed limit. So il segnale raffigurato consente di circolare. It allows to circulate a velocità inferiore a quella indicata. So you are allowed to circulate, okay, at inferior velocity of the one which is indicated. Yeah, we have 80. So you are permitted to circulate below the 80. If you can go below 80, of course, you are allowed to use the road where this signal is being located. Il segnale raffigurato obbliga i veicoli a marciare a meno di 70 metri di distanza l'uno dall'altro, vero o falso? And indeed, the answer to this question is false. Exactly. Il tale raffigurato. So this sign figure obliga, it obliges I veicoli a marciare. So it obliges vehicles to circulate a meno. Okay, so less than 70 metri di distanza l'uno dell'altro. So vehicles are obliged to circulate less than 70 meters between the vehicles circulating, and the answer is no. You can't circulate less than, but you have to circulate at least 70, not less than 70. Il segnale raffigurato consente l'uso del clacson nei casi di ingorgo stradale, vero o falso? This is a nice question. This is a nice question. Nei casi di ingorgo stradale, vero o falso? And indeed, the answer to this question is false. Il segnale raffigurato. So this sign figure consent, it allows l'uso del clacson, so the use of clacson or the use of horn, nei casi di ingorgo stradale. So when the road is disorder, or when there is incumbrances, when the road is busy, or we have disorder on the road, the answer is false. When we say ingorgo stradale, okay, it means the road is a busy road, or there's a disorder. An example of disorder road is when there's too much traffic on the road. Yeah, or when there's even a rain. When there is too much traffic, it doesn't mean that the road has an emergency. No. If it is raining, it doesn't mean that the road is emergency. No. You only use your claxon when there is an immediate emergency and also or immediate danger. Yeah. So when there is traffic congestion, it doesn't mean anything. No, you can't use your horn. You have to keep waiting, keep going slowly, and don't use your horns. Our next question. Il segnale raffigurato prescrive l'obbligo di viaggiare a velocità non superiore a 80 km all'ora. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is true, guys. Il segnale raffigurato. So this sign figure prescrive l'obbligo. So it is prescribing obligations di viaggiare, to travel a velocità non superiore. So to travel or to circulate a velocity not more than 80 kilometers per hour. And the answer to this question is true. You can't go beyond 80. You can't go more than 80 because the 80 is the maximum. So you are obliged not to go beyond or more than 80. And the answer to this question is true. In presenza del segnale raffigurato è obbligatorio mantenere una distanza di almeno 70 metri dal veicolo che precede, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is true. So in presenza del segnale raffigurato, in the presence of this significant, è obbligatorio, so it's compulsory, mantenere, to maintain or to keep, una distanza, a distance, the almeno, a distance of at least 70 meters from the vehicle ahead of you. And the answer is true, because always you must keep your distance from the vehicle ahead of you or the vehicle in front of you, not the vehicle at your back, but in front of you. So the answer to this question is true. Il segnale raffigurato indica l'inizio di una zona in cui è vietato suonare il clacson, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is true. Il segnale raffigurato. So this significant indica l'inizio. It is indicating the beginning of a zone. Di una zona in cui, whereby è vietato, it is forbidden, suonare il clacson, of course. This one is indicating the zone, the beginning of a zone where, yeah, the use of clacson is forbidden. And the answer to this question is true. Il segnale raffigurato prescrive di marciare a velocità inferiore o uguale a 80 km all'ora, vero o falso? Indeed, the answer to this question is true. Il segnale raffigurato. So this significant prescrive di marciare. It is prescribing to travel or to circulate a velocità inferiore or uguale. So it is prescribing to circulate less than or equal to 80. And the answer is true. So with this 80, the maximum is 80. So it's either you go 80 or less than 80. Yeah, so it's either you go equal to 80 or less than 80. So the answer to this question is true. You've done this question already. Yeah. Il segnale raffigurato preavvisa una strettoia su strade di montagna. And this is a bonus question. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. How can this signal foretell that we have a narrow road on a mountain? Come on. How can somebody get this question wrong? Il segnale raffigurato preavvisa una strettoia. What are we talking about? We are talking about divieto di usare ogni apparecchiatura, anything that produces noise. But we're not talking about a narrow road on a mountain. No. No, 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 no. Il segnale raffigurato vieta il transito ai veicoli che per costruzione non possono raggiungere la velocità indicata, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. The question says that il segnale raffigurato. So this significa vieta il transito ai veicoli. So the transit of vehicles are forbidden. Per costruzione. So if by construction your vehicle is being manufactured, so if by construction non possono raggiungere la velocità indicata, so if by construction your vehicle is unable to reach this 80 kilometers per hour, it means the transit of that vehicle is forbidden, and the answer is false. Example of a vehicle by construction unable to reach 80. Example is ciclo motori. We know that by law, the speed limit, the maximum speed limit of small motors, they are 45. So according to this question, if I am riding my ciclo motori, so because my maximum speed limit is 45, does it mean that I can't use the road where I have this 80 kilometers per hour? The answer is I can use it. Because this one says that you can't go beyond 80. So if I have a vehicle and I'm unable by construction to get to 80, still I can use it. Even bicycles can use the road where we have this velocity. So we're not talking about any by construction. Don't go beyond 80, and that's all. In presenza del segnale raffigurato, le autovetture non possono superare la velocità di 80 km all'ora. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. The signal is talking about the minimum distance to keep from the vehicle ahead of you. And the question is talking about velocity. So they are two different things. We have distance and we have velocity. The question says that il segnale in presenza del segnale raffigurato. So in the presence of this certificate, le autovetture. And guys, when we say autovetture, we are talking about our normal cars we use, the one we call them macchina. They are called autovettura. So, autovettura non possono superare. They can't go more than 70 kilometers per hour. We're not talking about velocity. This one is distance, so the answer is false. Now, our last question. Il segnale raffigurato impone di mantenere una distanza di sicurezza di almeno 80 metri. Vero o falso? And indeed, the answer to this question is false. This signal is talking about the maximum speed limit. And the question is talking about the distance. Il segnale raffigurato impone. So this certificate, it obliges. When you say impone, impone means obligatorio, impone. Di mantenere. This signal obliges to maintain una distanza, a security distance of at least 80 meters. No, this one is not security distance. This one is maximum speed limit. So the answer to this question is false. We have security distance and we have velocity. So guys, we've come to the end of today's lesson. Please don't give up. Who said we can make it? Guys, we are going to make it by the grace of God. It doesn't matter how many times you've been trying. This is the year. We are going for the victory by hook or crook. God bless you guys and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are going to do an official exams on the YouTube. So I will share the link to the WhatsApp group and also to the Telegram group. God bless you guys and see you tomorrow.